The 25th of June, Bourdain Day, a day to reflect on and raise a glass to the words, wit and wisdom of Anthony Bourdain, who through adventuring across the planet, he not only shared so much of his own life and experiences, but also the lives of everyone he met along the way. Now here in England, Anthony Bourdain was not a household name, and to my utter shame and dare I say disgrace, I only discovered him after his passing. So straight to the internet I took my intrigue, and at first I couldn't figure out what this man was. Was he a chef, a writer, a journalist, a relentless globe-trotting documentary filmmaker? All labels though, rigid, emotionless descriptors of a human being I'd never know. But then I started watching, listening and reading. And while he'd be correct in saying he was a chef, writer, journalist, relentless globe-trotting documentary filmmaker, beyond all of that, there was someone so much more. I'm Bradley, and this is my tribute, my toast to Anthony Bourdain. Fellow travellers, this is what you need. Soho, London. Perhaps you'd like to hear the history of some of the West End theatres, or the Raymond Revue Bar? We could talk Francis Bacon, William Blake or David Bowie. But no, today you're going to get my experience of Soho. So I lived here about a decade ago, and a lot has changed and a lot has stayed the same. So here I was, mid-20s, I've come from like university and stuff, and suddenly I'm in this crazy place, and it really is crazy. I mean, the shops, the layout, it just doesn't make sense. So even now, 10 years later, gentrification and the unrelenting steamroller of progress, as Tony would say, it's still completely mad. You'll have an electric shop, and then next door will be some rare imported coffee shop, and then next door to that it'll be a sex shop. Theatres, casinos, coffee shops, bars, very particular sort of hardcore bondage leather fetish gear. I mean, it's completely crazy. Sex shop, gay pubs. I would actually walk down here to, there's like a grocery shop around the corner where I do my food shop, and I was coming down here one night, and it must be only like 8 PM, but it was dark. A lady here in a doorway in like a dressing gown opens it up, and she's got like the tiniest underwear on imaginable. I'm gonna go get some milk. Please leave me be. I just want to go buy some dinner. There's like pockets of hipster shit here. Not a lot, it hasn't completely taken over. You'll still be able to find doorways with models written on the inside, and the complete haphazardness of the organisation of Old Compton Street, that will never change, which, well, I hope it doesn't, so I'm very happy about that. This was Rupert's, and when I said grocery shop, I went to like a proper co-op up there. But that shop there is an off-licence for alcohol in central London was mad. In London, you can get really stung. In some off-licences, they can really hit you hard with the alcohol prices as compared to supermarkets. But Rupert's, cheap, 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 and maybe inflation it's changed. There was a whiskey in there called High Commissioner that my flatmate at the time he knew that if I'd bought the High Commissioner, it might be a bit of a crazy night, and he'd say, oh, hang on, is the High Commissioner in tonight? Raymond Revue Bar. Now, one of these doors was a place called Madame Jojo's, which went years ago. It was an underground drag bar that was here when I was here. Really cheap entry, and they sold cans of drink before it was cool. Big cans, I think even Stella, a couple of quid in central London. It was amazing. Madame Jojo's, best night out. They played Lady Gaga. I like Lady Gaga. That says Walker's Court, but this is Porno Alley. It was loaded with filth. There's a few bits now, but it's all been redone. There's like art galleries and all sorts of weird stuff. What is this? This was the co-op I went to, but it closed down and disappeared. It was here when I was here, then it disappeared for years, and now it's back. So I might go get some stuff in there and relive the not so good old days. And it's around here, talking about pockets of hipster crap. The shoe shop where people queue around the corner. I don't get, there's queuing blocks and blocks around the corner. There's a perfectly good pub round there where I'm sure you can get a pint cheaper than you're getting your shoes, whatever you're getting. And here's a Starbucks that I used to buy a tea and make it last about 6 hours so I could use their Wi-Fi, because we didn't even have it in our flat at that point. Whenever you see those pictures of London COVID, it's always this street because it is shoulder to shoulder, like there's no social distancing. It is time for a coffee.
Back when I lived here, I hadn't yet developed a taste for the invigorating earthy brew that is coffee. My caffeine pick-me-ups came from energy drink poison. Way too much of it as well. So if I told you I had a favourite Soho coffee spot that would always sort me out after a hard night of debauchery, I'd be flat out lying. Thankfully, after discovering Tony and his work, I found one.
Cut! Thank you. Bar Italia, Soho. And I'm here because this is where Anthony Bourdain came with his friend Fergus Henderson in the London episode of The Layover. There we go, I'm trying to remember facts here. I don't normally do that in my videos. Literally, family-owned, Italian family, 1949, black coffee, all the time. I would have, in the episode, he has a spirit, Ferna Branca, but you can't serve alcohol in Soho before 11 o'clock, so I won't be having that because it's like 8 AM. I was willing to have alcohol at 8 AM for you, which I would never normally do. I'm a from 12 o'clock onwards man, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Yes, I'm here because Anthony Bourdain came here, but this is the only place in this video that we're going to be visiting anywhere he went to. This is not a where he went in London, what he did. I feel like if I just went around and worshipped the ground he walked on, I feel like that would piss him off. So this is going to be me and you sharing, living, seeing and tasting completely new things.
So
oh, here it is. Oh,
here it is.
This is the
Would you like
spirit.
to hold it?
Oh, I can. Oh, thank you. Made in Italy. Next time. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Raincoat's coming off. Thank you so much. Thank you. This place, Garlic and Shots, would be one place I definitely drink in Soho now. It's a restaurant, but you go downstairs inside and there's an underground gothic rock club. They play Rammstein. I mean, like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself trying to be Anthony Bourdain. I'm not him, I'm never going to be him, no one is, one of a kind. But I'm just a silly boy with a YouTube channel. I've got a coat in my hand. Well, I'm going to give that to my cameraman. Carry my coat. Right, there we go. The truck's gone. I mean, nowhere else in London am I going to go. They're going to have Rammstein on, which is brilliant. And the shots part of it, there's a shot menu. They've got over 100 shots. They're completely crazy. And they don't make them in front of you. They're all mixed up on the bar, pre-made in plastic bottles with pourers. Oh, I'll have the number 69 and just pour out a shot for it. I think my favourite was, I think it was motor oil or something like that. And I think it is like vodka, JD, tequila. In fact, I've completely got that wrong. I should have looked that up. I'll put a little thing on.
What shall it be for the first meal of the day? A traditional full English breakfast, the fry-up? A continental platter, perhaps? Pancakes with an English strawberry compote? No. For Tony, we are having meat in tube form. Simple and incredible. And for that, we are heading to the Scandi Kitchen, just north of Oxford Street. Opened in 2006 by Bronte, a Dane, and Jonas, a Swede, the cafe provides much more than their sit-down or takeaway delights. They also offer an extensive online catalogue of Nordic cuisine that would satisfy the homesick, the reminiscing tourist, and the curious carnivore alike. Today, I'm here for the Scandi hot dog, complete with ketchup, mustard, remoulade sauce, onions, and pickles.
Okay, if you think I've got two for me, I haven't. I'm paying my cameraman with food and drink. So there you go, little cameraman. You may have that in a moment. Meat in tube form for breakfast. I've broken it. When I was growing up, when I was younger, I was not an adventurous eater. I wouldn't have anything. And just because I don't know what remoulade sauce is, I would ask for this, even maybe last year. I don't know. I'd say, oh, don't put that on there, I don't like it. Anthony Bourdain, I'll have everything. And everything tastes good. I've totally wrecked this. It's fallen apart. I've got to eat some toppings and then this on the side. Absolutely lovely. Wouldn't normally get a hot dog for breakfast, but we had to do it today. Normally that would have been £4, just for the one hot dog, £4. And I was going to talk about how good that was, that if you went a few hundred metres in that direction, put that on a plate, you could triple the price in a restaurant. Today, I didn't even realise, it's Hot Dog Friday, so it was half price. So that hot dog cost £2. And I'm in central London. I challenge you to find a better hot dog on a Friday for £2 than that, or £4 even, in central London.
The black cab, iconic. Yeah, you pay more than Uber or the bus, but it's a private cubicle that gets you precisely from A to B, safely and securely, exactly when you need it. And did you know that if you're in a black cab and you're ever in an accident, you lose an arm for example, that you're insured? Yeah. Not the day-to-day mode of transport for me living and knowing London, of course, but for any leg of a journey with luggage, a family, a booked flight, any time when there can be absolutely no compromise or mistakes, black cab, 100%.
So yeah, we are at the Walkie-Talkie building. When this was under construction, something like the curved glass at the top was melting sports cars. I think it set fire to a cafe or something because the light was being magnified through it in some funny way and it was burning stuff on the street. An issue I'm assuming that they've sorted because that's a bit of a liability issue, having a death rate. Look, it's on us now, get it! We're going up inside the Walkie-Talkie building.
We're here today for one of London's lesser known sites, the Sky Garden, London's highest public garden that offers complete 360-degree views of the capital. If the landscape gardens or open-air terrace don't interest you, then the bars and restaurants should. And it's free. That's right, free. You have to book a ticket in advance and the limited places soon run out, midweek being far easier to secure a visit than the weekend, but if you fancy a drink with a view, this place offers the gold standard.
Cheeky little single malt. Tony, it's to you. Yeah. Bourdain Day. Certainly more expensive than, say, when I was talking about Madame Jojo's, but for where you are, I cannot complain at all. My cameraman as well, he's on his first bevy, so if the camera work deteriorates from here on in, it's my fault because I'm getting my cameraman drunk. It's been like a chaotic year and life goes up and down, all sorts of stuff goes on. But when you can stop in moments like this, enjoy a view, sip a whiskey, life's good. Oh, I could sure do with another single malt whiskey, but we don't want it to be a Bradley getting drunk video, so in true Bourdain fashion, I think it's time for some more food. Let's eat.
The Underground, London's public subway, metro, underground train network, the cheapest, most efficient way of navigating London. Sometimes essential and other times really, really not. Your legs will do just fine. Don't buy single tickets, get an Oyster card. You can pay with contactless, though I never do, but that's a personal issue with a technology I don't understand or trust. I'm sure you're normal and you'll be fine. This journey on the Northern Line from Monument to Clapham North is a direct route and takes about 12 minutes. So I accept the temporary reality of the hot, noisy metal tube loaded with hot, sweaty people as this efficient underground teleporter gets me where I need to be.
So here we are, Clapham North, and just around the corner, Roti Jupa, where I'm going to get a Caribbean roti. I mean, if you've seen my YouTube, I used to travel to the Caribbean a lot, and I had my rotis there every now and again. I'm not going to say I had them every day. I loved it, I enjoyed it. So to ale my COVID-induced Caribbean blues, I'm going to go have a roti. Thank you. Hello there. Please may I get one curry chicken roti, please?
Sure.
And can I have a ting with that, please? Ooh. I think the roti is from Trinidad. I first had it in Antigua, loved it, and just a quick look on Google, the sheer number of reviews for this place, I had to come here. I actually haven't had a roti since I was in Antigua. This is a ting, I'd more have that in Jamaica. Rum and ting. The first time I ordered a rum and ting, I asked for a ting and rum and everyone tore me up.
The roti. Meat, veg, potato, lightly spiced in a wrap. Always a refreshing spiced kick rather than a blow your head off test of endurance.
I think that we are done for today. We can stay here and just eat roti after roti after roti. That is so good.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. Okay, so...
I was umming and ahhing about getting the goat. So I could say today, what about beef and pork and the sausage, and then have goat and then everything later. Maybe I'll have a chicken burrito. I could try and eat every animal in one day. That's never going to happen. I went with chicken because that's what I used to have, and I regret nothing.
I'll take 2 color that's it.
I'm sure Anthony Bourdain just tasted stuff and then left it, and they sort of push it out of shot so you don't see it. I might not finish it, but that is no comment on how good it is. That is a comment on how I don't want my stomach to rupture when I eat a burrito in 2 hours and then eat an 8-course meal 2 hours after that. And I want to use today as a day off from healthy eating to have some alcohol. I'll explode if I eat and drink everything I've written on that bit of paper. A load of chicken right out the middle. I'm a danger to the chicken population. I can't not finish it. There we go. I'm done. What can I say? I'm in central London and that's a roti. That is a happy tummy. Oh. Right, should we go get some more food and drink? Impromptu drink stop. Lovely jubbly.
On there.
Thank you.
Just on the top of the comment.
It's not contactless, annoyingly.
Oh.
I really need to get contactless, don't I? I need to grow up. Impromptu drink stop. Cameraman and I fancied a bevy and a toilet break. We've stopped at the Clapham North, just opposite the station. I'm having a red stripe. I had my roti, I had my ting, red stripe. Jamaica, not Antigua. I don't think I had it in Antigua, but from Jamaica. To Tony.
Back on the Underground, Northern Line to Waterloo, where I take a detour down Leek Street, the Graffiti tunnel. What is now a permanent fixture first appeared during a festival organised by Banksy, wittingly titled the Cannes Festival. The artwork here changes daily, a constant rotation of styles and talent that even I, someone who never even tagged a school desk growing up, can appreciate and admire.
I need to pick me up. Coffee time.
Multi-award winning independent coffee shop The Four Corners Cafe has got me covered.
Well, it's definitely not coffee shop of the year or any such bollocks because it's closed. Sorry, Four Corners, I went on the website, looked at the opening times. Update your website. I can't give you a good review if you're closed. Let's go to Pret. Go with a brand you trust. Oh no, this is where something bad's happened to like the owner or someone's family, or there's a genuine reason and now I'm the worst human being on the planet. This is why I don't do this for a living, you see. I've got to change the narration now. I'm not a one-man production team, I can't cope with it. Espresso, Pret. Oh yeah, that's my caffeine hit. Let's go to the South Bank.
The South Bank. Theatre, entertainment, food, pubs, its own skate park. Here, as a local or tourist, you will eat, drink, walk and be merry. You could splash out on a ticket to the London Eye, but personally, I'd take that money and get myself an epic boozy picnic to enjoy in the charming and lively park right beside it, Jubilee Gardens. There's nowhere better to drink and relax when the sun starts to set.
And Oaxaca, the Mexican street food place. It's a really quirky ship and container restaurant on the South Bank, but we're not going to sit down. Thankfully, they've got a burrito truck right outside. Let's get a burrito. Can I grab a beef burrito, please? Steak, yeah, steak meat.
Is this rice and beans?
Yes, please. Yeah, absolutely. I think the refried beans are the secret ingredient. Mild spice, I think. Yeah.
That is tomato and onion. This is the mild.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect.
Extra guacamole?
Extra guacamole, yes, please. That's what I need.
It's £1.25.
That's fine. Yeah. That extra guacamole makes all the difference going in there. Good.
You can take it.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Steak, refried beans. I mean, you saw it. You pay for the extra guacamole, but that is awesome. Blimey. I'm ranting about the Caribbean. I've been to Mexico a few times as well. And I ate this, and I'm just like, that is as good as I had out there. But seriously. I would show you the contents, but I think I've just mushed into it so much, I've squished it. This will fuel you up for an entire day. Lump of steak, guacamole, a bit of the salsa stuff, refried beans, rice. They do a lot of different stuff if you sit down, but you can't go wrong with just the hearty burrito. You saw the steak that went in, actual huge lumps of dead cow. I take a little bite and I get a whole chunk of beef in my mouth. Amazing. I shouldn't finish this, but I think I'm going to. We've got dinner in 2 hours. Let's walk and eat. Everyone is so jealous of me right now. All those vans. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have filmed. I should have just filmed the Oaxaca van and just left that up. You will eat here on the South Bank, or you shall be evicted from the South Bank. All these healthy people skateboarding make me feel real bad right now. I take that back, I actually feel incredible. I can't put it in the bin, I can't do it. There's no dignified way to eat the very end of this.
Satisfied from stomach to soul, I stroll along the South Bank, thoughts, emotions and potential speeches racing through my mind, because as I put one foot in front of the other, I remember where they're taking me.
Context and memory play powerful roles in all the truly great meals in one's life. Anthony Bourdain. I spent a long time thinking about that and breaking it down, probably overthinking it, when in fact it's really quite a simple quote. You could have the best meal in the world, made by the best chef imaginable, but if you are surrounded by toxic people, your world is burning and your life is falling apart, that meal could turn to ash in your mouth. And then on the flip side of that, you could have a ham and cheese sandwich, and you've spent the day with someone special, or many special people. You've had a fulfilling day, you've gone for a hike, you've been in the mountains, there's a sea, there's birds, there's wind, the sun is setting. That ham and cheese sandwich is enriched with life and will taste incredible. And it'll be a memory and you won't forget eating that incredible ham and cheese sandwich. The context of that sandwich might make that little thing one of the greatest meals of your life. That's what I take from that. I don't want to stand here and ramble on because I will. Yeah, Bourdain Day, Anthony Bourdain.
The mural by artist Ketone 6000 was commissioned by chef Peter Lloyd, and the heartfelt tribute proudly and tastefully adorns the side of his restaurant Sticky Mango, which offers a delectable fine dining take on Asian street food. I couldn't stop the saliva pooling in my mouth as I perused the menu online. More excitement than your tummy could imagine from Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Indonesia, Vietnam. I think Tony would approve.
Sadly, the broke Bradley production company couldn't afford the huge mirage of a feast I invented while reading the menu, but I will go there one day. I'll be saving my pennies and I will be going there on a date night. Do not tell the missus.
As I head back over the river towards Covent Garden, I find myself worrying that I've said too much or not enough, and hoping that I haven't come across as disrespectful in any way. Then there's a breeze, a shimmer in the waters of the Thames, and I bring myself back to the moment. It's time for a beer, and to once more raise a glass to the man himself. So I'm on the way to Covent Garden, to a pub just south of the main market, the Porterhouse.
Do you just want to run ahead and see if they've got seats? Because otherwise there's no point getting established in shots and stuff.
I just think you're booked up for the next 3 hours.
Yes.
Can't even get a drink. Right, so we were going to go in the Porterhouse, which is really ornate in its multi-levels, and they have beers from all over the world, but sadly they're fully booked. COVID. I went there the other day and it was fine. It's not even 5 o'clock yet, so work's not kicking out. It seems to be pretty busy in London today. Oh well, I was thinking positive, it didn't pan out. Luckily we're in England, so there's loads of pubs. We're at the Nell Gwyn, which is a brilliant little pub round the corner, down alley. We can drink outside. It's going to serve me a pint. Hey! I can't take my mask off with my hands full. Bourdain Day. Cheers, Tony. And thank you. There's a quote from him, I don't remember off the top of my head. It was about the reality of travelling and how you have to be sort of free from an itinerary. Obviously, we're making a film, we had to stick to it, we're doing it in one day. We had to have an itinerary. But you've got to be open to all the pitfalls of travel, basically. And even though we are just in London, it's still travel. And we're still running around the place. So yeah, we're talking about the pitfalls of travel. We wouldn't have ended up walking down some little alleyway to a proper old English pub and had this shutter next to us shutting, there's chains and stuff. This is obviously piss. Well, in fact, I don't know actually, because it's stained. It's come from that, it looks like it could be a skip. I might have got that wrong, but I wouldn't have had to make that assumption about the stain on the floor if we'd been in the pub where I had my little notes of things I wanted to say. So this is a bit off the cuff, hooray. Hey.
As someone who's lived in London and still spends a lot of time here, and as a pretty solitary overthinking creative, you're probably expecting me to moan about crowds of tourists or slow walkers, or advise you to avoid all the famous landmarks. But no, unless I'm in a real rush, I'll go out of my way to walk through Trafalgar Square, Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, the lot, pop to the Royal Parks, walk past Buckingham Palace. Why not? Things have changed so much with not only London but also myself since I lived here, so I don't think it's simply personal nostalgic indulgence. Perhaps I'm quietly patriotic? Who knows? Whatever it is, come here and see for yourself. Stop for a moment. Look, listen. Life is happening. That said, this is London. There are protests and premieres and marches and marathons that can shut streets down. That's a bit too much life and people watching for me. And watch out for cyclists, because the majority of them are not watching out for you.
And people in London like a drink. The nights here get busy and rowdy, unpredictably pleasant or not. We're all adults. Enjoy yourself, but just have your wits about you. I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen, but just be sensible. Big thing here, hug mugging. You come out of a venue, two guys, complete strangers, all buddy up to you. One of them puts an arm around you. You're having the best time. Oh, where are we going next? What's up, mate? Oh, it's been such a good thing. I enjoyed the footy. Meanwhile, his mate is ransacking your pockets. Then they just walk off. Oh, bye, I'll see you later. And they jog around the corner. Your phone's gone, your wallet's gone. Some of them are so good, they can even unclip your watch. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Have your wits about you. Enjoy yourself. London's great.
My final meal of the day. Vietnamese street food at Pho and Bun on Shaftesbury Avenue. Please forgive me as a naive English speaker for reading the letters as I see them. I think the correct pronunciation of PHO in this instance should be closer to far than pho.
So I've never been to Vietnam, but it was a place, people and cuisine that Tony adored. So I'm going to share in something he loved by having a spread of Vietnamese street food. Let's eat. Hot day, cold beer, Vietnamese beer, Saigon. I've never had it. I'm not going to act like a beer connoisseur. I like beer. I can smell it and taste it from this. It smells like good beer. It tastes like good beer. Oh, so we could get a whole platter, and so my stomach doesn't explode. I get 2 starters and a main. Cameraman gets 2 starters and a main. I'll probably taste some of what I'm getting the cameraman, but I definitely won't be able to eat it all. The main thing for me, I wanted the pho. I wanted some pho noodles. I think that's what Tony is eating when he's on the side of the road at that street food place. And he says that line that just gets you. Fellow travellers, this is what you want. This is what you need. I've never had it. Let's have it for the first time. Cheers. Tony, to you. We have got sticky honey chicken wings, fresh summer roll tiger prawns. Oh, slow it down. I got that completely wrong. That is the sticky honey chicken wing. That is the chili salt and pepper squid. That is the honey glazed spare rib. And that was the fresh summer roll tiger prawns. That's where we got confused. Let's give one of these a go. That's very much a satay dip. Love it. Let's get this squid in me.
That's gorgeous. So good, honestly.
I'm not a big fan of squid because sometimes I find it too rubbery. That is beautiful. I don't know how they've cooked it or what that is, but that is different to what I've had before, and I like it. So cameraman's not eating the seafood. I am going to taste test this rib. Come on, you know you want to. Oh. I take it back, I am going to eat that. Wow. That was a shock suddenly eating that. I like that. I love that. I love this, but let's just get a bit messy. Oh yeah. Again, no dignified, clean, professional way to eat chicken on the bone. All the starters, phenomenal. That pork rib, I would eat an entire rack of pig cooked like that any day of the week. Cameraman is eating a pork bao bun burger. It looks tasty. I'm going to try a little bit, but I've got pho, which I've never had. Chicken and noodles in a broth. Let's give this a go. Let's get a bit of the noodles out. I think I'm going to slurp, I'm going to drip. It is literally exactly what he had. Got some chicken and noodles. That's amazing. The taste is incredible. I've never had noodles like that. I was expecting it to be really sort of stodgy. If I think noodles and chicken, I think I'm going to feel full. I'm eating that, especially drinking the beer. I was worried I was going to feel bloated from eating the whole thing. It's hard to describe, it feels light. And the taste, I imagine, well, obviously, it must be everything that you put in the liquid will soak into the food. Oh. If you like chicken, if you like noodles, if you like flavour in your food, if you want to feel good and not bloated when you eat, try pho. I hope I'm saying that right. My eyes and taste buds are bigger than my stomach. This whole massive bowl is full of it. So it is light compared to noodles and chicken and things I've had before, but there is a big old bowl of it. Let's just quickly taste test a bit of this in the bun. Just a little bit. I don't want to destroy your dinner that I paid you with. That burger bun. Soft pork, lovely, but I think comparing it to the pork from the starter, That starter pork was just too damn good. Too damn good. I'd enjoy that. That is a tasty burger. Tony, thank you. Gonna skip dessert, square up here, and hit the streets of London. See you in a bit. I think by the end, my eyes were bigger than my stomach, but that was a lot of tasty food. As soon as COVID has gone and I have the means, I have to go to Vietnam and try the real thing. Try some real pho on the streets of Vietnam. Let's go.
It's Friday night, the start of the weekend. People have finished work and are filling the bars. People from all over the UK have travelled here for 1 or maybe 2 nights out, not to mention tourists that like to party as well. It's about to get louder, busier and drunker. Where would an introvert like me go to escape this bacchanalian descent and sip a beverage on my own while reflecting upon the day? I head through 7 dials, over the cobbles, past the shop fronts, to Covent Garden, to a supermarket where I pick up my drink of choice. Then find a spot to people watch, or simply let the busking ambience soothe my soul.
Many years ago, when I had no job, I didn't know about my future, I essentially had no hope, this is where I'd come. All the different places around Covent Garden, sit here for free, not always have a drink, only sometimes. Something about this place eased the pain. I don't know if it was people, I don't know if it was life. But then after all of that, whatever I went through, where I went after that, what I did, where I travelled, I wouldn't have believed it. If you told me then all the travelling and stuff I did, I wouldn't have believed you. And all the videos I made and adventures I went on, say little did I realise, I could have been enjoying the work of this kindred spirit who was travelling, looking, searching, tasting, meeting, feeling, adventuring, exploring, just living in wonder and intrigue. And he shared his passion for everything in the most amusing, thought-provoking and genuine way. Anthony Bourdain, today was for you. And I thank you for it. Again, I don't want to sit here and get too sentimental and overthink and ramble on and be cheesy or disrespectful, so I won't say anything else there. I'm going to end with a quote from the man himself, and I'm not going to try and remember it. I'm going to read it word for word. If I'm an advocate for anything, it's to move as far as you can, as much as you can, across the ocean or simply across the river. The extent to which you can walk in someone else's shoes or at least eat their food, it's a plus for everybody. Open your mind, get up off the couch, move. Anthony Bourdain.